So let's talk about these Game Award announcements. Make sure you grab a glass. We're just chilling. We're relaxing, ranting, maybe a little bit, and talking about all this new stuff. Now, Witcher 4, if you didn't think we were going to play as Ciri, what were you thinking? Of course we're going to play as Ciri. That is the obvious choice, and it's perfect because you're still going to get Geralt in the game. Retired, maybe giving some advice, someone to go to for answers, but you're leading into a new character. Then by the end of Witcher 4, who knows? They might kill off Geralt and say, you know what, he's going to sacrifice himself to save Ciri one last time. And along the way of Witcher 4, you've built up relationships with new people, so maybe Witcher 5 is a whole new character. They're bridging that gap. Instead of just going straight from Geralt to a new character, it's Geralt, then Ciri, maybe for 1, 2, or 3 games, then a new character. They're making it real slow to move into a fresh character, which I think is great. And oh my God, I hope they update the combat. That's something I've never been a fan of. There's something about The Witcher 3's combat I just don't like. I'm not sure why. I can't put my finger on it. There's nothing specific about it. Every time I hop in, it feels off, and I'm not sure why. You let me know. What am I missing? Or is it just one of those things where you either love it or hate it? There's nothing you're missing. You're either down for it or not. Then, of course, the Elden Ring lovers are eating good. We got Elden Ring Nightreign, which is a co-op. Listen. This is the rant section of the video. The co-op of the Seamless co-op mod, which is the guy they hired and I assume is working on this Nightreign game. That's how co-op and multiplayer goes. Not this, let me break a tree branch and then dance around 3 times and jump, then hop on my horse and draw signs on the ground. Summon a player, and then when we die, I have to do it all over again. No. Make it a good player experience, which it looks like this will be. Hey, social, add player, invite. Great. That's what we want. And it looks like that's what we're getting, so that's cool. Now, here's what I think Nightreign is going to take place in, because there's always some big lore dump with these Elden Ring and Dark Souls games. You can read stuff, or you can look up the lore and research it. I think this entire game, because it looks like it's an amalgamation of all of Elden Ring, Dark Souls, just kind of all of the games they put out. They've got fan favorite bosses and whatnot. This is going to be their version of hell. All of the tarnished that failed to become an Elden Lord and died. All of the bosses you've beaten from different games. Everything is going to be in this hell version. And so that's why, co-op, because we're all in hell together. So it makes sense that there's so many players out here fighting these bosses. It's not just one tarnished trying to become an Elden Lord. No, it's all of us because we're all dead. So it makes sense. That's where I think it's going. Mark my word. That we're going to hop into the game, and that's why everything was burning in the trailer. It showed, the sights of grace and the whole Elden Ring environment. Everything was on fire, burning away. It looked like a visual representation of hell to me. Or the underworld, or whatever they're going to call it, But I am so here for it. Elden Ring was so much more enjoyable when I was playing with the Seamless co-op. It's, again, single-player games are great. Don't add PvP, that'll ruin it. But co-op, taking a great game that people love and then allowing you to play it with a friend, that rarely doesn't work, okay? People love that shit. Give us more. I know I'm going to butcher his name, but Mr. Amir Satvat was given the first ever Game Changers Award, and that was so wholesome. He started an organization, or started off basically for game developers and people in the gaming industry who were struggling to find a job. It's like, hey, here's a compiled list of openings and job openings. And now it's grown into this organization of, now he's helping people find jobs, making sure that, with all the layoffs, people have a resource to go and find their next step. It's incredible. That is so wholesome. No matter what you think about gaming, whether you think gaming's dying or, there's nothing good out, that right there is just pure wholesome content. And we love that. We love that. The Game Awards as a whole was great. I think the only, or one of the few holes you could poke at it is a lot of the really hype stuff that we wanted and got to see was just cinematic trailers. So like, oh yeah, Witcher 4, awesome. It's probably going to be great. It was just a cinematic. The new game by Naughty Dog, just a cinematic with weird ad placement. But again, that really doesn't bother me. Or not ad, brand placement. I don't really care about that. Yeah, brands are going to try and get their way into gaming. Whatever. If that's what it costs, if Coca-Cola said, here's $50 million and just throw an occasional Coke can in that game, I don't care. That's more money for them to build out the game. Fine. I will play a game with Coke product placement or Nike or Adidas or whatever. As long as it doesn't ruin the core configuration and making of the game, we're all good here. It Takes Two creators, Hazelight Studios, announced their next co-op game, Split Fiction, which It Takes Two is incredible. I have that higher on my list than Elden Ring. I did a Game of the Year winner kind of tier list, and It Takes Two is above Elden Ring. For me, the pure enjoyment of playing games together with a friend, family, spouse, kid, anything like that, it feels so much better. No matter how good Elden Ring is, it will never deliver that same type of feeling as playing It Takes Two with a buddy. And of course, you should have seen the guy. He walked out and he's just like, I'm so hyped. He was so confident. And I love that. It's like, oh, you just look like you're having a good time and you're confident in how good this game is because you know how good your last game was. I loved it. It was great. We got Outer Worlds 2 announced after a pretty big hiatus. Like, they were just silent for years. And now they dropped this. I know it's like, what, the Borderlands of space? No, I'm sorry, Fallout of space. Fallout. Calm down. Calm down. Fallout in space, which I'm not a huge fan of the Fallout games. Putting it in space is one way to get me into it. So I definitely will play Outer Worlds 2. Again, Fallout, but space. You throw space in anything and I'm there. I'm here for it. On a side note, I'm going to link 2 articles down below. One is IGN kind of listing out everything announced at the Game Awards, giving little blurbs and little, paragraphs about what it's about. Another site is if you just want to see a consolidated bullet point list of here's everything, and you can click the link for whichever one you want to read. I'm a fan of that. I want to see every little thing announced. Cool. Click that. Let me read that. So those will both be linked down below. And you know what? While you're down there, it's only for your convenience. You might as well subscribe and like. Tell me what you're most hyped for from the Game Awards. What do you think of Astrobot winning? Was it really that surprising? If you've played it, you know it is just pure joy. Like, it is so good. And Balatro winning like 2 or 3 awards, good for them. I love Balatro. But yeah, go comment. What are you most hyped for? Did you not expect something, or was there something you expected to see that we didn't see? I didn't expect to see The Witcher, even a cinematic. I was like, wow, look at that. Did you expect GTA 6? It did win, most hyped. I know that's not the actual award name, but most, what is it? Upcoming game? Something like that. GTA 6 won that, so. I'm obviously not going to talk about anything. Editing Morgan here. Obviously, I meant to say I'm not going to talk about everything. Not sure where my brain was going, but also I have updates. Elden Ring Nightreign is a roguelike where you play as classes, and then if you, beat bosses and beat the final boss, you then unlock permanent perks or permanent upgrades that you can then take into the next runs. And that fire is almost like a smoke that forces you to fight in different areas. There's also a day-night cycle. That's incredible. So, love to see it. Back to it. But they're bringing back a Turok game. Co-op dinosaur hunting. Turok! Like, if you know. That there hasn't been a Turok anything in years. Thought that franchise was dead. Or they were going to bring out like some remaster or remake. A new Turok? Hunting monsters, and again, co-op with your buddies? Yes. Give us more co-op. If it's a great game, cool. Let it be co-op, please. There's nothing better than playing a great game and then saying, hey, hop in with me. It's beautiful. We love that. And I'm not being, overly dramatic. I'm serious. I love co-op games. They're so good. Remember Army of Two? Yeah, we need one of those. And there was Thick as Thieves, which looked like co-op. No, I'm sorry, not co-op, like multiplayer thief. Sneak in, steal something. You're all playing as like different classes or different types of thieves, trying to steal something. Could work. maybe. I know there's been a few of not thieving type games, but there's been a few of those. Oh, you're all playing, different classes and you're all rushing to one point to grab or pick up something and then run back, get away with it. They haven't done super successfully, so. But I'm optimistic. It looks cool. I'm here for it. So the devs of Sifu, the fighting like Matrix game, not really Matrix, but kind of made you feel like you were in the Matrix, announced their new game. It's called Rematch, and it's a soccer game. I already know this is going to be on the level of sweat as Rocket League. Just watching it, I might try it. I'm not really a fan of soccer, but it looks cool. I enjoy Rocket League. People are so sweaty in Rocket League, and I can already see it in Rematch. Depending on like what the controls are and what you can do, you're going to have people doing like bicycle backflips and kicking over some. It's going to go crazy. That is going to be a sweaty game. Very sweaty. But again, it looks fun. Then we had Project Robot from the creators of Shadow of the Colossus, which Shadow of the Colossus is awesome. This looked it was, again, just like a cinematic. So there's not a whole lot you can draw from it. But when these developers have such a portfolio and so much rapport with the audience and the player base because they've done nothing but masterpieces, they're going to deliver something crazy. And big mech robots, I mean, regardless of what you think about Pacific Rim, good movie or not, it is great to watch. It's a fun time. It's awesome to watch big monsters fight other big robots. So I'm here for it. Listen, I have a low bar. If it looks cool, if I enjoy it, if it's fun, that's all I need. Okay, I was trying to remember what it was called. The beta is actually open right now. Midnight Murder Club. So it showed off, they're inside this big like mansion. All the lights are off. They have flashlights and they're just like trying to kill each other. So heart-pounding and hilarious multiplayer FPS fun. Trust your senses and overcome your fears as you're armed with a flashlight and a revolver, then set against your friends in a pitch black mansion with immense immersive proximity chat and surprises around every corner. It just looked like it's spooky. The place might be haunted. Set little traps and kill each other. Listen, sometimes simple works. It looks simple and it looks like a lot of fun. So I'm definitely trying that after this. Now I gotta say, I was pretty disappointed. They dropped a cool trailer with a little bit of gameplay of a Game of Thrones game called Game of Thrones King's Road. And I was like, oh, no way. I really wanted a Game of Thrones game. I thought it could do well. And then it turns out it's a mobile game. Which, listen, there are good mobile games. Balatros on mobile. It just, you know what I mean? Like, you see a game like that, and you tell yourself, oh, this is going to be sweet. I can't wait. And then it says, coming to mobile, or, App Store, and it pulls a chunk out of you. Like, the level at which it could be good is only so high for mobile games. Like, no mobile game will ever be Elden Ring levels of good. They just, you can't pack so much into a game and have it run on a phone unless you're streaming. That one hurt a little bit. I mean, I'll play it, I'll try it, but come on. Bring it to console or PC. Like, come on, you can't drop something like that and then be like, oh yeah, only mobile. I'm a little salty. Little bit. That did let the air out of my tires a little bit. And then the last thing that I'm super excited for, again, co-op, the creators of Overcooked dropped a trailer with a little bit of, I don't know if it was gameplay. Is that a cutscene or is it like a cutscene transition into gameplay? It was a little hard to tell. But they had a split screen where each of you are in like a parallel version of the world. So you could tell they're on the same street, but one person is clearly in a different like dimension or world than the other. It looks really cool. And again, co-op games where you got to work together, it's great. So I'm definitely excited for that. I don't know what I'm most excited for. Probably Split Fiction. Again, It Takes Two was so good that I just can't imagine not loving every second of that. There was also a cinematic trailer for Mafia, the Old Country, but it was strictly just a cinematic trailer. Which is cool. That doesn't tell us anything. That tells us what it's about, which we could have guessed. I want to see some gameplay. Show me something, you know? Give me a taste. Tease me a little bit. Don't give too much, just a little tease. You know what I mean? Just a crumb. Give me a taste so I know what's coming or what's potentially coming. But overall, I think it was a great show. It's wild how many things are coming out in 2025. There were so many. Summer of 2025. Summer of 2025. March of 2025. Next year is going to be insane. Insane. Like everyone's, oh, 2024 is dead. No, 2024 was a great year for gaming. 2025 might just be the best year of gaming ever. And I know there's but what about Elden Ring? Listen, better games are going to come out than Elden Ring. Better games are going to come out than Baldur's Gate 3, though I don't see that happening anytime soon. Better games will always come out. It's going to be a great 2025. But what do y'all think? I'm excited. I'm really excited. I love that they dropped things immediately. Helldivers 2, they finally introduced like I think they're called the Illuminati or the aliens. They're live right now. A bunch of games were like, oh, the update is live right now. The demo is out right now. Midnight Murder Club, the beta is live right now. I love that because it gives you something to look forward to as soon as the show's done. Not to say the show isn't entertaining. I love watching the Game Awards. But right after, you can hop in and, all right, let's go test out what I just saw. I love that shit. It's so nice of them, you know? That's something that really delivers for the consumer. We're not just going to tease you. We're going to let you go play it right now. Right now. Oh, yeah, we just showed off this game. Guess what? It releases next month. I love it. Don't hype it up for 10 years and then drop disappointment. Get it nice, condensed, put it in a nice rounded ball, rough out all the edges, make it perfect, and then say, here you go. It comes out next week. Oh, yeah, we like that. We take those. I love that shit. What do you think? You going to play Midnight Murder Club? Or are you hopping into Helldivers 2? How are the new, enemies? I'm probably going to try that too. Oh, God, there's so much to try now, and there's so much to cover. Still playing through Indiana Jones. That's a lot more fun than I thought it would be. That's a lot more fun. Hearing those punches is great. Anyway, go down, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the Game Awards, all the announcements. Is there anything I didn't talk about that you're really excited for? I'm sure there is. And we'll see you guys in the next one. If you want to see the deep dive video that I talk about the new Elden Ring announcement and kind of, again, go over some theories, what I think's going to happen, how things are going to work, then you can go up here. That'll be linked. If it's not linked, then it's not done yet. But once it's done, it will be linked. So you know what to expect.